Hello everyone, I'm back again with the 12-string guitar, and just sort of gonna go through this video why you might want a kill switch installed onto your guitar, because they're not something you see very often, but every time you do, I think um, it's something that most people could enjoy, but you don't see it's not a very common thing for people to actually use. So I don't know, maybe it's just a video sort of bring some more attention to it. So obviously there's the standard, well, not standard, but I would say mainly most common application for it, where it's um like for rhythm stuff, particularly tremolo, during like the Bulls on Parade solo, like something like that. And he uses that very rhythmically. He actually has he doesn't actually have a kill switch. What he does is he uses his pickup selector. He has a two volume setup for his neck and bridge, so he has his neck completely off, and his bridge all the way up. So then he just switches between the two pickups. So that's how he does that. But it's the same concept. So yeah, that's I would say where you've maybe heard it the most. Another one is on not killing, know your enemy. The start of that. I don't know if I can do it because it needs some coordinate. Yeah, I'll turn off the noise gate because it's not properly picking up the sound. Yeah, and you hear that, and that is I would say a very underrated way of playing. Obviously, when you're operating the kill switch, you are not able to strum like maybe a normal tremolo pedal. I think this is why kill switches aren't as popular, because there are things like pedals that can do it properly. So with tremolo, tremolo pedal you can be playing, and also you can have the stutter effect going on at the same time. However, you could arguably say that that doesn't lead to such inventive playing, because when you when you don't have your playing hand freed up, it makes you rely so much more on tapping on your guitar, which you don't see as much, and could possibly be a more inventive sort of style of playing. So it's like my tapping hand isn't very strong, so yeah, that's another way of sort of using it in that know your enemy kind of a way. Like maybe right at the end of hammering on a note, or right at the end of pulling it off. Back on the tremolo sort of thing, it's obviously a lot more variable than a tremolo. Again, obviously you can't be playing and you can't be strumming and have it on with a kill switch. However, you are able to change the speed. Obviously, there's a way of doing that with expression pedals or having multiple tremolos, but it's a lot more literally at your fingers. With a kill switch, you don't have to be. You can change the speed. You can change the rhythm arguably far easier. Like these aren't, obviously this is just sort of things that I'm doing off the bat. If you were to practice and really use it in a more creative way, you'd be able to do it a lot better than I am, but this is just examples of how you could use it. So yeah, quickly changing up the rhythm, quickly changing up the tempo. Like if you have a fast bit of your song and then it goes into a slower bit, you don't have to have true tremolos, you can just use this, it's like a... the kill switch is still on, or the noise gate, I mean. So yeah, you get that idea of having fast, slow, different rhythms kind of thing. Another way I've used this is a very interesting way, and it's a way of having a delay sort of sound. So if I were to have a delay pedal and I were to quickly, and it would go obviously you can do that with the kill switch, except you just hold on to the note, don't release it, and you use your kill switch. Obviously, it doesn't decay as much as a delay would if you have. Well, I mean, I'm using really high gain, so if I hadn't had such a high gain, it would decay a lot more. Like, but that is an inventive way, in my opinion, of using it. I sort of came around this idea of using it in the intro to Police Truck by the Dead Kennedys, where he has that really fast delay going on. I think he uses an Echoplex, an original tape delay, which would be very awesome to have. But anyway, it sort of creates that same sound. Didn't do it very. So sort of like that. That's a way of using it. To have, obviously, it's a very sort of niche way of using it. If you were to have an actual delay, you'd be able to have so much more capabilities. But it's just a different way of thinking about the kill switch, not in such a cage mind. It's just like a kill switch is a kill switch. A kill switch isn't a tremolo, it's not a delay, it's its own thing, and you make of that what you will and use it how you will. But yeah, it has that sort of delayed effect, particularly if you were to use it at the end of a bar or end of a song or something. sort of could be a cool outro. The same way it could be a cool intro as well. If I hold it down, I don't know if you can hear the hum from that amp, just from that pedal. Anyway, if you hold it down, just completely mute all the strings, you can then hammer on hard into a chord or whatever it is, and then start using it. So like a something like that. Also a way of having a very extreme stutter effect, which maybe isn't so possible, or not on every tremolo. I know obviously ones can, but this is something that me and my friends sort of learned at school. You have to tense your hand, your wrist really hard. I'll do it maybe with a pick so you can hear, but I don't know if you heard that. Anyway, it sounds like a woodpecker basically. And if you do that with your tremolo, you can have a really, really fast stutter effect. It's not very controlled. It's not very controlled, but it is very fast, and it's a way of sounding, you know, if you're going for quite a manic sound, you know, so it can be used in that sort of way. Yeah, so that's one way. Also, you know, just a way of using it quite extremity, using the yeah. Anyway, so yeah, those are some basic ways of using it. You know, I think it can be sort of in the same way dubstep. You use rhythm. You can use it in the same way where you build up. You're building up to something using that stutter effect. So it's like and then you go into a song. Obviously, if you had that's where having a high gain pedal or something. That's where having a high gain pedal would really work out, because it doesn't lose volume. So it's not like it's even though it's gaining speed, it's losing volume. So it's not such a climax or something. But if you have a compressor, if you have humbuckers or a high gain pedal, fuzz, you know, something that's really compressing or making it not lose volume, then you'll be able to have it sort of build up to something in an extreme way. Something like that. Also, I sort of mentioned it in as well, but you know, like having it at the end of a song, and sort of winding it down. So if you can imagine, this is the end of a song. So you know, something like that. So it can be used. It's not an everyday sort of application. I don't think you can. It's not like you can use a kill switch in every one of your songs, but there are some very inventive ways of using it, and also in soloing as well. Particularly if you're good at tapping, like I did with the Know Your Enemy Tom Morello sort of thing that he does. You can easily use it there, but also if you have a sustained note, you can start using it, like particularly in bends as well. I think that sounds very cool. It's like sort of get the idea of having that, you know, having that change in pitch with the stutter effect is I think is very cool. Also, you can do that sort of with the dubstep thing I said as well, with just sliding up the neck for a climax or something. So if it's like something like that. And then the last way, of which I thought, obviously, like I said, when you're using this, you're freeing up your playing hand. Yeah, you're freeing up your playing hand, but also you can, yeah, no, sorry. Obviously, when you have a tremolo, you can also manipulate the sound like that and use that with the tremolo effect. So this is maybe a little bit more of what I was talking about, when you can sort of build a climax or something like at the start of a song, maybe even midway through a song. If you pull your tremolo all the way down so it's really low, you start slowly tapping it and then speeding it up, or you can do that same thing when it's the end of a song. I think that's a good. Or if it's floating as well, pull it up as well. This is slightly floating, but not so much. So yeah, let me try that. Like that, sort of. And also, you can create harmonies as well, sort of like the Rob Scallon video he did, where he's like, I think it's him, where he makes a song just using his tremolo. You can obviously add the kill switch to add some rhythm and make it more interesting. If you're maybe a drummer, I think you would utilize this very well, in terms of you would know rhythm very much. You could almost create a snare roll-esque kind of sound with this, if you can really control it and do it really fast. But if you think like each string or each you know, this is well, if you say this that note there, A flat is the snare, and then you have E flat is one of the toms, and then you have B, or no, not B. I don't know the notes on this. Anyway, this ninth fret E string is like another tom. You can, sort of create a rhythm, Obviously, it's a very manic sound. I'm not a drummer. I'm probably not the best person to be demoing this because I haven't had so much experience. But it's something to think about. It's something that people can take and use to the fullest. This is just sort of an example. You hear this. You hear it. The tremolo, the kill switch. Also in Momentary Bliss, by the Gorillas, featuring Slaves and Slow Tie. Yeah, it's sort of the build up, the bridge to the chorus is like, oh, that's very out of tune from using that tremolo. Oh no, maybe it's okay. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's like a. Whatever. It's sort of like that, and also when it's clean, it decays a lot more. So you do have to pick hard, and you have to be speedy with your kill switch to get all the volume out of it as you can without it decaying so fast. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind as well when you're doing it clean. But when you're, when you're using high gain and it's all compressed, you really don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So yeah, that's if you can get it to feedback as well, that's sort of another way of using it. Oh yeah, and also another Tomarello thing that he does is using the it's similar where he gets the lead and when he does that, you can sort of do a similar thing on your kill switch as well. But that's just that's just an idea. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and sort of going through the kill switch and its application. I think there are some very inventive ways that it can be used and you don't see very often, particularly the delay sort of sound, that stutter delay. I think that can be very cool. Yeah, and just using it because you don't hear it very often. Using it in unison with the drums and how they're going, I think you could be able to create a very tight song, a very sort of I don't know the word, but a song that is very in sync, in like with all the musicians are playing almost the same part or something reminiscent of the same part, and you're very on the beat and everything like that. You create a groove with this. Usually the groove is the guitar and bass, bass and drums. I mean, but you could add in some groove with your kill switch. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and everything like that. Yeah, thank you. See you.